Okay, so I feel like I always get a little bit of dry mouth before I go live. It's probably nerves. Um, so last week I did a training on how we're all literally uniquely wired or coded for success. And we're wired and coded in our own individual ways. Like we have a unique blueprint, a roadmap inside us for how to reach success with as much ease and as much joy and alignment as possible. Today is a little bit of an extension of this. Just like we're coded and wired for success in our own unique way, similarly, we each have specific energies or specific emotions that are totally aligned with our inner wiring. And when we use them, when we put them forward, when we focus on serving and showing up from them, they will create ease for us. They will create alignment or keep us in alignment, and they will pull people towards us. So, over my own journey in growing my business from a place of total alignment, I really, and I'm still doing that, but I'm really focused on ease, on flow, on freedom, and on helping clients do the same. And so I've discovered that there's essentially I've said five um, main energetic kind of pathway or signatures that keep coming up. And that if you create, if you market, if you sell, and if you deliver your offers from these five energies, essentially, you're going to be significantly more aligned, have significantly more ease in your business, and you're going to attract clients and inspire and be essentially a lot more impactful in your way of doing business. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ilsa Kamti-Adair. I'm the founder of the Sovereign Entrepreneur Academy, where we marry essentially step-by-step strategy with deep energetic work to help conscious entrepreneurs, change makers, become powerful vision casters in their own lives and in their own business, and also essentially build a business that's totally aligned where they're attracting clients and getting booked out without burnout, with ease, with joy, in a way that's uniquely wired for them. If you're watching this at any point in a replay or live, say hi to me. I always like to know who's watched this. And at the end of this training, I will have an invitation for you. I'm reopening a few spots in the Sovereign Entrepreneur Academy in January, and I'm opening them at the same price as they were for essentially 2021. And then early January, the price will go up. So I'm going to be inviting you at the end of this training to join us. We're an intimate group, and to essentially make 2022 your breakthrough year, and to do that at the rate of 2021. All right, so let's talk about these five primary energies that magnetize clients to us. So the first thing I want to say is this: all five of those are important, and you should use all five. But what I've discovered is that most of us have three of those energies that are kind of primary. So we can use all of them, and all of them essentially will expand our business in some way and expand our energy and make us more magnetic. But usually we each have three main ones that we want to use. And the way I work with people with these energies is I will figure out which are the three they need to focus on. And then the second thing I will do is I'll figure out which one they're really lacking in. Because even if you have, for example, one of the energy, let's say the energy of love is not your primary energy, but you're only using that at like 40%, then you're actually going to have a lack. And you're going to essentially be creating a bottleneck, creating a lack of flow, or a barrier in your business. So we want to make sure that our three primary are wide open and we're really using them, but we want to make sure that we're actually pretty healthy in all of them. So it's all about capacity, like at what capacity are you using and embodying these energies? And essentially, they will help you bring in clients effortlessly. If you don't do that, then can you be successful? Absolutely. But I find that it's a lot more difficult. And my sense is we've all known we've all known people who seem to expand really quickly, attract client really quickly, build a business effortlessly. Here we are, we've been working at it for a year or two, doing everything right, and it's not quite moving. And then we see someone else, and maybe they're doing essentially similar things to us, but they seem to have really reached a level that we haven't been able to reach. And I've definitely felt that, where it's like, okay, what are they doing differently than me? And what I found is that more than likely, these people actually intuitively were able to tap in onto what energies essentially made them feel expanded, made them magnetic, and use them. And they did it automatically. They did it intuitively. They mastered it, which is why everything seems to come to them so effortlessly, and which is why they were able to essentially take off in their business with as much ease as they were. So when you get a sense of which energies really light you up, that you really need to use, and which energy you're lacking in and you need to bring up, then essentially, and you master that and you start using them at full capacity, what's going to happen is that's when quantum leaps happen. That's when exponential growth happen. That's when you actually start creating momentum in your business with like half the amount of effort, half the amount of energy that you were using before, including sometimes actually being able to get more results by doing less. So let me go through these 5 with you. And what you can do is, when I'm talking to you about each of these, you can figure out which one feels really like, when you hear me speak, that feels really good. That's a pretty clear indication that that's a good one to go to use. The other thing you can do is you can feel which one feels scary or like they're not you. And that doesn't mean that it's not one of yours. That probably means that you're underutilizing and you actually need to work on that one. And then if you want to know, like, and you want to do this with me, then you and I can schedule a session. I'll literally figure out exactly which are your primary energy and which ones, like at what capacity you're using each, and what you need to up to essentially start growing your business effortlessly and magnetize clients to you. All right, so the first energy, and by the way, they're not in any order of importance or anything. They're just in the order that they came through for me as I was writing my notes. First energy that I'm going to talk to you about today is love and passion. So with this, if this is your primary energy, or with this energy, you essentially need to focus on the feeling of love, loving your clients, loving your potential clients, loving the work you do, even loving Facebook. For those of us who don't love social media, but we use it for business, essentially finding within us love, the passion. So loving Facebook, loving your ability to share your gifts. And with this, you also want to talk about what you're passionate about. You want to focus your content on passion, what lights you up, what makes you excited, and why you're excited for it, and why it brings you fully alive. Passion is extremely attractive. So for people with this energy, growing a business is about sharing your gifts that you are passionate about, sharing your passion, and it's a labor of love. If this is your primary energy and you do anything that you don't love, that you're not totally jazzed about, that you're not passionate about, then you're going to sabotage the flow. Your people are essentially going to start feeling it. So when I'm working with someone and it's very clear that love and passion is their primary energies, and maybe they're not really using it at capacity, they're lacking in some ways in that energy, one of the things I will do is I will look at their whole business and figure out what about their business they're no longer in love with. And let's remove that, because it's actually this one thing that you're doing that you're not in love with will actually start percolating and rippling and affecting the energies of everything else you're doing that you actually love. So that's number one, love and passion. Number two is healing and transformation. Yes, a lot of healers have that one, but it's not automatic. So with this energy, the focus is truly on embodying and sharing the healing and transformation that one you have gone through in your own life that has allowed you to be here today, and also to share with potential clients the healing and transformation that you provide in your work. So it's essentially really important with this energy to bring people through your own process, including, by the way, your own process of continuous healing and transformation. We're all continually growing. We're all continually transforming. And there's something here about sharing that with others and sharing the transformation and the healing of maybe clients you've worked with. You essentially, the healing and transformation is about hope a little bit, and it's about letting people know what that looks like and what they could have in their own life. Another thing you can talk about that shows up in the healing and transformation primary energy is you can talk about the mission behind the healing, behind the transformation, and you can talk about the importance of healing and transformative work for the world right now. Why is it important for people to transform and to heal? And why is it important for you to do the work that you do, and how that's related? So that's two, healing and transformation. The third primary energy is joy and playfulness. So in full transparency, that is one of the ones that I'm underutilizing and I'm having to work with, because I tend to be kind of a serious, studious kind of personality, and I don't always know how to have fun or how to make things more playful with my work. So that's something that I'm working with. But with this energy, with the primary energy of joy and playfulness, it's extremely important that you have fun, that you be playful in your business, both in the way you're working with your clients and you're delivering your gifts, but also in your marketing, also in your content, also even in the sales process. So when you're working with the energy of joy and playfulness, you want to make sure that you're having fun, that you're enjoying yourself at all levels, and that that's coming through, because one, it's extremely attractive to potential clients to really see you in your joy and to see you enjoying and having fun and being playful with your work. And two, if you don't enjoy it, if you're not playful, if you're not having fun, you'll literally sabotage it. You'll sabotage the flow. So in this, when you have this primary energy, you want to focus on being more creative. You want to focus on being playful, on having a good time with it. And you want to look at every aspect of your business. Again, a little bit like the part of love. When somebody has that energy that I work with, I look at each part of their business individually, and we figure out which part feel fun and playful and enjoyable and which parts do not. And then we figure out either how to tweak the parts that do not, or how to get rid of them altogether. Because again, if there is even one area of your business or of your delivery, of your marketing, that doesn't feel fun, that doesn't feel playful, that doesn't feel enjoyable, and doesn't bring joy to you, when you're using this primary energy, literally that lack of alignment will ripple into everything else that you do. So see where you're being too serious. See when you're being stuck in perfectionism. That's a little bit of why that's one of my primary energies that I'm working in is I'm serious, I'm a perfectionist, I'm a professional. all of that gets in the way sometimes of just being creative, rolling with it, having fun, being playful, and enjoying. So that's the energy of playfulness and joy, and seeing how it shows up in your business so that everything mesh and you become very attractive to people. So that's number 3. The 4th primary energy is expansiveness and infinite possibilities. So with this energy, the focus is on feeling and sharing the process of expanding, the process of going beyond our current limits, of mastering ourselves, of stepping past blocks, and essentially stepping into infinite possibilities. So with this energy, it's quite important to also share your own journey of how you essentially moved past your own blocks, moved past your own stuck places, moved past your own limiting beliefs or your wounded feelings that were keeping you stuck, struggling, small. And to also share how you help your clients do that. When this is your primary energy that you're working with, a little bit like when we were talking about healing and transformation, a lot of the focus in this primary energy is about helping people conceive of what is possible for them and giving them essentially a sense of that spaciousness, a sense of that possibility and hope. So this is also really powerful, a place that can be really powerful of essentially sharing with your people, whether they're your clients or whether on like free and open content, about breaking the rules. Breaking the rules that no longer work for us, breaking the rules that society and the conditioning that society has put on us, that no longer either fulfills us individually, but also no longer fulfills us as a species, as a collective. When you're working with the energy of expansiveness and infinite possibilities, a lot of things are around like infinite truth or absolute truth, teachings around creation and how to create the life we want, or even manifestation, as well as the removal of blocks. All of those will be appropriate there, and those will really light up your clients and essentially attract them to you. So that's number 4. The 5th energy of the primary energy for us to come through is authentic expression. So with this energy, when you're working with the primary energy of authentic expression, the focus is on removing all the masks and showing up as honestly, as vulnerably, as fully, as truly as we are, both in our vulnerability, but also in our power. So for a lot of us, we work on showing up more honestly, more vulnerably. But there's also an aspect of authentic expression that's really about stepping fully in our sovereignty, in our innate power, in our innate wisdom, and being willing to show up as that. So when you're working with that energy, our people are extremely attracted to our unique, essential energy, the energy of who we were prior to life and others dimming our light. So for a lot of clients, when I'm working with clients on, and this is their primary energy, or they're not quite using it to the capacity that they need to attract clients, oftentimes there's something here about the magical child. Thank you. I can't, this is, StreamYard is not letting me see who you are, but I appreciate that. So we're working here with the energy of the magical child. For a lot of us, especially if you are a soulful, sensitive entrepreneur, then at some point, the world made you feel like it wasn't okay to be you. You were either too big or too quiet or too this or not enough that, or if you showed up fully, you got bullied, you got judged, you got criticized. And so when I work with clients on that authentic expression, oftentimes it's about reclaiming, it's literally a reclaiming and a reigniting of something that is already innately within us. a wisdom that is here, a power or sovereignty that is here, an innate joy that is here. I think, so the question is, can you still work on attracting clients if your energy is not where it's supposed to be? Yes. I mean, obviously, we need to always work in attracting clients. That being said, energy is a fundamental aspect of any strategy. So you can have the exact right strategy for you, but if your energy is out of alignment, if your energy is not there, essentially people can feel it. So you will struggle in attracting clients, which is why I say sometimes to people, sometimes it's actually better to take a break and to step back a little bit. Or even, like, I had a client who was really struggling with money, and so she was really in that striving, scarcity, um, anxiety sense of, I need clients now. What am I going to do? And the more she did, the less results she got. And so what I did with her was essentially allowed her to relax her nervous system and to find a place of being okay, being safe before she could start, whether that meant looking for a part-time job that will take that edge off, whether it looks like selling a few things so we've got a little money in the bank, or whether it looks like, essentially taking a break from certain people in our lives that are bringing us down. Is it possible to attract clients when you're not in the right energy? Yes, it is significantly harder. So for every small results that you're going to get, you work this much harder. What we want to do is we want to flip that. We want to get this many results for this much effort. And that's what happens when your energy is essentially aligned and when you're aligned, you're using the right blueprint, the right direction for you, the right strategies for you. And it's also what happens when you're essentially figuring out which primary energy really is important for you and you're focusing on those. So I hope that answered. Yeah, makes sense. So when you're working on the authentic expression as your primary sense, is essentially you need to reclaim what feels like has been lost that you had already as a child. And you need to remove all the masks and all the barriers that you've put on to keep yourself safe in the world and start slowly showing up as more and more of your authentic self, both in your vulnerability and in your openness of communicating what is real, and also in your power, in your sovereignty, in your joy. Yeah. So this is one of the other ones that I have. So I have been working, and I've shared this, but I've been working with an energy of it's not safe to be visible for quite a long time. And the more I move through that energy, the more clients I get, because partially I think it's because I show up more and more authentically myself. And so I find that a lot of soulful entrepreneurs, a lot of sensitives have that. And that's something that we need to move through to essentially attract clients. I'm looking at my notes, seeing if I have anything else. Yes. So one thing that I've done that has been really helpful for me, especially in terms of marketing, whether I'm writing a post or I'm writing an email or whether I'm going live like this, in working with my authentic expression in many ways, it's about safety. It's about feeling safe to be ourselves, feeling safe to be seen as ourselves. So one of the things that I've done that's been really helpful is that I imagine that I'm speaking to somebody in particular. So I imagine either one of my favorite clients or one of my good friends that I've mentored with, or someone who essentially is the kind of person who would enjoy the topic, and I speak to them. I speak to her, I speak to him, so that I'm almost imagining that I'm not speaking to a whole bunch of people who are going to be seeing this. I'm speaking to somebody with whom it's safe to be me, both in terms of sharing my vulnerabilities, but it's also safe to be me in terms of stepping in my power and being real, being genuine. Whether that means I'm going to curse, whether that means I'm going to make a silly joke, Whether that means I'm going to share something personal, it doesn't matter. And so that's been really helpful for me. And so for those of you who have that as your primary energy and are not utilizing completely, then that's one way of doing that. So let me just recap. I'm not going to go in through all of those, but for those of you who joined late, essentially, the 5 primary energy, and I would invite you to go back and listen to them because I go into them each with a little bit of depth. But the first one is love and passion. And the primary aspect of that is making sure that you're in love with every aspect of your business, or you will sabotage yourself. And to essentially make passion what you're passionate about, the focus of the content of what you share. The second energy is healing and transformation. And that's where you want to make the focus of your content your own healing and transformation, essentially being vulnerable and transparent about how you've grown, how you've healed, how you've transformed, how you've gotten to where you're at today. You also want to share about the healing and transformation of your clients and what kind of healing and transformation you provide when people work with you. And a lot of this is about bringing hope to people and letting them know that healing and transformation is possible, and that will attract them to you. The third primary emotion is joy and playfulness. And I was sharing that that's one that I need to work on because I tend to be a perfectionist. I tend to be studious. I tend to be professional and a little serious. And sometimes I can forget to have fun and to be playful in the process of sharing what I do. So with this energy, it's about making sure that you're having fun and you're enjoying every aspect of your business and that playfulness is coming through. Number 4 is expansiveness and infinite possibilities. That primary energy of expansiveness and infinite possibility, you're essentially helping people get in touch with spaciousness. You're helping people move through blocks and move through limiting beliefs and limiting emotions. And you're essentially helping them step into what is possible and notice that when we are aligned, when we are moving past our blocks and our limitation, what's possible is infinite, it's limitless. So when you're moving with the primary energy of expansiveness and infinite possibilities, it's about limitlessness. It's about breaking the rules. It's about manifesting the life of our dreams and essentially stepping into the highest level consciousness that we can step into. And then the 5th one is the one I just went over. That's authentic expression. The 5th energy, the 5th primary energy is authentic expression. And that's both sharing openly our vulnerabilities as well as sharing our sovereignty, our power, and reclaiming our innocence, our safety, our playfulness, our infinite possibility of childhood, and coming from that place, removing all the masks so we can show up as fully ourselves as possible. So that's what I have. And as I stated earlier in this video, I'm going to make an invitation to you right now. I'm reopening 5 spaces in my Sovereign Entrepreneur Academy. This is a small, intimate group of healers, practitioners, and transformational coaches, essentially. So, and I'm reopening 5 spaces for January at the 2021 price. The rate's going to go up in 2022. And part of the process of this is really giving you step-by-step strategies mixed with deep energetic work so that you can attract clients with this and you can get booked out without burnout. If you're ready to make 2022 that breakthrough year, if you're ready to build your business with so much more ease, so much more alignment, so much more flow, and create a lot of freedom and spaciousness in your work so that you're also aligning with yourself and your soul and what you deeply desire, then this is the program for you. There's a shit ton of support. The group is amazing. The people in there are absolutely amazing. They're soulful, they're deep, they support each other. It's one of the best things I've created. I've worked with people one-on-one for 20 years. And when I started this group, I was a little worried that people would not get results. People start getting results and client within the first month. I have a client that's in there right now that I worked with for a few months one-on-one, and she was struggling and nothing was quite working. She got in the group, and there was something about the energy of the group and the way of learning in the group. And she's got more clients in the last 6 weeks than she had in the 3 or 4 months working with me one-on-one. So I know that this program works. I know how powerful it is. And I want to share it with more people. And I want to share it with more people at a price that people can afford, because I'm not one of those coaches who has outrageous prices that nobody can afford, especially if you're not already super successful. I'm here to help you bring your gifts into the world, and to do it from a place of ease, from a place of absolute alignment, and essentially to figure out what strategies are going to work for you. So if this feels like that is something you need, that is something you want, then I invite you to check it out. You can put details in the comment. You can message me privately. And then after this live is over, I will go and I will put the link to the program so you can actually, on your own, just read it and see if it feels like the right fit for you. And feel free to message me, connect with me. I'm super approachable. I love to chat with soulful entrepreneurs. Ask me any questions you want. You want to chat about whether or not it's the right fit, we'll hop on a 20, 30-minute calls and we'll do that. That's it. That's what I've got. Thank you for all of you who are here. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.